Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and what we're going to be doing in this video is a breakdown of the official Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer reveal trailer. I've watched this trailer probably a dozen times or so, probably more than a dozen actually. I've actually gone through frame by frame just to kind of see maybe there's something I may have missed my first dozen times watching this trailer, but for the most part what I can say is this is a very straightforward gameplay trailer. There's not really a whole lot of hidden elements to it or anything like that. For the most part, it's just going to be showing us what the maps are going to be like, what the guns are going to be like, what the kill streaks are going to be like, what the specialists are and how they work, and just things of that nature. And I think that's really awesome. They're not trying to hide behind anything, right? There wasn't too many cinematic stuff throughout this trailer. For the most part, it's just raw gameplay, and we get to see what the game is going to be like. So hopefully you guys will enjoy my breakdown of it. The very first screenshot we're going to be looking at here is going to be of the user interface. Now I grabbed this particular screenshot because it shows just about everything I would want to know about the UI of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Up there in the top left, we see the minimap. It looks a lot like the Call of Duty Ghost minimap in that it's more rectangular than it is square like traditional Call of Duties, as well as we have a direction compass right below the minimap itself. Now it looks pretty cool. I gotta say I like the minimap that way. There was the square minimaps that we used to have traditionally, which are pretty good, but I think the rectangle one's a bit better because it actually allows you to go ahead and see more. It gives you kind of like a more peripheral view for your character, and you can see wider distances. The Call of Duty Ghost one was pretty cool, but in my opinion it was a little bit too transparent. It was kind of hard to read at times as compared to this one where it's not very transparent at all. You can actually see it fairly well, and I think that's a pretty good minimap overall. You look down there at the bottom left, of course everything's a little bit slanted here. That's part of, I guess, the art design of Black Ops 3, so everything's gonna be a little bit more slanted. If you look down there in the bottom left, you see the kill feed itself looks pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's actually, once again, not too transparent. You can actually see it. It's gonna be fun to try and get quad feeds, or if you get a double kill or a triple kill and stuff like that, it's gonna feel really good because it's gonna show up there in the kill feed and everybody's gonna see it. The kill feed's in the proper spot. It's just very good. I love the way that looks. Of course, you see down there at the bottom, it tells you that you're winning. It'll tell you by how much, and you see round 1 of 2 in domination. Just all your information that you would want to know about the game is probably down there in the bottom left, which is pretty nice. Look over there towards the right, we have, of course, a brand new element to Call of Duty, which is going to be the specialists. And right now we actually have these specialists completely filled up. You get that just by capturing objectives or getting kills and getting assists and just playing the game in general. And once you fill up your bar, you will unlock your specialist ability. For this particular specialist, we have gravity spikes, and it's actually going to let you know that it's ready by showing up with the yellow bar in the middle of your screen. Now keep in mind, all kill streaks, including specialist streaks, will go ahead and show up in the middle of your screen like that with that yellow bar. Like if you get a UAV, for example, I'm sure you guys have seen it throughout the trailer, it's going to go ahead and show up just like that. And apparently you can go ahead and you press the left one as well as the R1 button to actually go ahead and activate your specialist ability. Of course, this was recorded on PlayStation, so it's L1 and R1, and if this were, like, for example, on the Xbox One, it would be the left bumper and the right bumper. Now you look right below that, you actually see the person that you end up killing. That's where it's going to show up whenever you kill somebody. You look up there at the top, they still have the same medal system that we had, of course, in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 2, but it's looking like they're actually going to be trying to make them a bit more cooler, and they're actually going to make it so multiple ones of them can show up at the same time at the top of your screen, which is pretty cool in general. And again, looking back down there at the bottom right, we have your traditional things, like we see what particular weapon we're using. We're using the Man of War full auto right now, and it shows how many bullets are in your magazine, how many bullets you have on reserve. You have little spots there for lethal and tactical grenades, and of course you have your kill streaks right there, as well as a nice little bar for your score streaks to allow you to actually know exactly how many more points you need to get to your next score streak, which is pretty nice. Now let's go ahead and actually press play here, and we actually get to see the gravity spikes in play, which these things are pretty cool, man. You get to jump down. We've heard about these. You get to jump down and do a little bit of area of effect damage, which looks pretty cool, and it would be pretty good for, yeah, maybe clearing off a domination flag. But as we've learned from people who have actually been able to play the game early, if you jump in the air, you can avoid those gravity spikes. So it's really all about timing and whether or not your opponents see that you're coming. Let's skip ahead here to another specialist, and this specialist's ability is going to be the Annihilator, which is going to be a revolver, which is pretty insane. It's going to be a very powerful one-shot kill revolver. You'll see here in a trailer that the person actually ends up getting a quad feed with it, which is pretty crazy. Of course, you only have 6 shots with this thing, and then it's gone, so you gotta try to make the best use of it as you can. But for the most part, it's going to be a ridiculously powerful pistol, and I think this is definitely going to be a very popular specialist ability in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The next specialist we're going to be looking at, now this one has something that is called a Sparrow. Now we saw this, of course, in other trailers, and we just assumed assumed that maybe this was going to be the new crossbow for multiplayer. Turns out this particular crossbow is called the Sparrow, and it's actually going to be a specialist ability. Now, this specialist ability is going to allow you to have this ridiculously powerful explosive arrow that you can go around and shoot people and stuff. And of course, for the sake of this trailer, they show you getting like quad Vids and just tearing up everybody, because that's the whole point of it. When you watch these trailers, you want to see people doing ridiculously good, so you can think to yourselves, man, I want that to be me. I want to get this game. You know, that's why they do it. They're not going to show somebody dying a bunch of times in a row, because it wouldn't make any sense. Who's going to want to buy a game where it's watching somebody die and get outgunned all the time and stuff like that? So of course, they kind of hyped it up a little bit, I suppose, with the quad Vids with the crossbow here, but it's definitely a very unique and cool looking crossbow, and I'm definitely interested to try that thing out. The next specialist ability we're going to be looking at is going to be called Glitch. Now, Glitch is a very interesting ability. It's one of the ones that people are most interested in about the game, because one, it's called Glitch, which is funny. Usually glitches are a bad thing, but here glitches are a feature. Now, what you do with Glitch is essentially it throws you back in time. Let's press play here on the trailer, and you guys can go ahead and see that he's going to go ahead and go up on the wall and then teleport behind the guy, going back in time to where he was previously, which is freaking nuts. That is just a really cool ability. I've seen this thing in action by watching other people's gameplay and stuff, and it was pretty fun to see. It's definitely going to be a unique ability. How useful will it be? Time will tell. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is an ability that allows you to essentially go back in time. Although the game still goes on with its normal time, it basically throws you back to somewhere where you were earlier. Like, you're not like really going back in time, like the score is going to be different or anything like that, but just your character is going to move to a prior location, if that makes any sense. The next specialist ability is going to be called the Scythe. Now, this particular one allows you to essentially just pull out a minigun from your arm, which looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It looks very powerful. It looks like the kind of thing that a lot of people might go towards, especially if you're a fan of Titanfall and stuff like that. Maybe you're a fan of the Titan weapons. It looks a lot like a Titan weapon from Titanfall, definitely. So I think a lot of people are going to try and gravitate towards that, but it definitely looks pretty cool. Now, this is going to be another specialist ability that we actually saw here in the trailer. This one's going to be called Tempest, which is essentially going to be like a laser rifle that you're going to be able to run around with, which looks pretty cool in general. And here at the end of the trailer, we're going to see some gameplay for Gunsmith as well as the Paint Shop, which are both going to be pretty interesting features in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in general. So what the Gunsmith is it's going to be a lot like Creative Class, but what it's going to do is essentially allow you to make your own weapon variants, for lack of a better phrase. So you're going to be able to take your own attachments, you're able to put on all your own attachments, and your own optic sights, and your own paint job, which you can make in the Paint Shop, as well as add another camo on top of it, and name the weapon itself to essentially create your own variant. Now, for example, there's a pump-action shotgun, which we saw here in the trailer, that is called the KRM 262 Pump, which is, of course, a pump-action shotgun, right? Now, you guys know me, I love pump-action shotguns, so possibly when Black Ops 3 comes out, I'm going to make my own variant of the KRM shotgun here, and I'm going to call it the Nero, right? It's going to have my own attachments I want to have on there. It's going to have my own custom paint job on there, as well as another camo thrown on top of it. It's going to have my own optic sights and everything like that, and it's just going to be essentially my version of that shotgun, as well as we learned from David Vonderhaar today that we're going to be able to track our statistics with these particular weapon quote-unquote variants that you're putting together, which is pretty cool. That particular variant that you have, it's going to keep track of your kills and deaths and stuff like that with that particular variant, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm going to be able to put together my own variant of this shotgun essentially by, you know, just having my own attachments on there and my own camos and my own everything, because of course in Black Ops 3 the customization is a lot more in depth than what it was before. Like, for example, we're going to have multiple different kinds of silencers to choose from. They're all going to do the same thing, but they're just going to look cosmetically different. We're going to have different kinds of foregrips, different kinds of optical sights, different kinds of adjustable stocks and things like that, just to be able to customize our weapons. So this Gunsmith itself is going to be pretty neat in that you're going to essentially be able to customize your weapon like never before, and even name it and keep track of your stats while using that particular weapon, which is pretty cool. And of course, the Paint Shop, we see footage of that here. It's essentially going to allow you to create your own camo. Picture something like the emblem editor, but you're going to be able to make camos for your guns. You're going to be able to do it on the left, the right, and I believe the back of your weapon, and then you're going to fill out the rest of the gun with an actual camo that was already made for the game itself. So you can't fully customize your weapon with Paint Shop, but you can customize a lot of it, and of course, you can do different kinds of combinations with the actual camos that are built in-game. So that is pretty interesting, ladies and gentlemen, in my own personal opinion. Now, the rest of the trailer itself, I believe, is pretty self-explanatory. I wanted to point out a lot of these specialist abilities and discuss those here in this video. I wanted to talk about, of course, the Gunsmith as well as the Paint Shop and the user interface and things like that, but the rest of the stuff that we saw here in the trailer really seems pretty self-explanatory, because it's just a very basic gameplay trailer showing us what the game is going to be like. We see people running on the walls, right? We see that. We know that wall running is going to be a thing. These thruster packs are going to be a thing in Black Ops 3, and we get to see what that gameplay is going to be like from this trailer, as well as the gameplay that's been uploaded to YouTube so far by various YouTubers that were at E3 and they're at the press events and they were allowed to record footage early and stuff. It's pretty cool that the game itself just looks very simple and doesn't look too overwhelming in terms of the movement movement system. I definitely think that's pretty awesome. But aside from that, we get to see a lot of different weapons here, and of course there's going to be a lot of weapons that we see not only in this trailer but from other YouTubers. They're able to play the game early. Of course, there's footage of that already up on YouTube that you guys can go ahead and check out, and we get to see footage of what the game is going to be like. So overall, I love this trailer just because it's a very basic gameplay trailer that just wants to show us what the game itself is going to be like while playing multiplayer. You know, it wasn't too much. There was some cinematics surely in the trailer itself, but it wasn't just nothing but cinematics. It wasn't really pre-rendered footage or things like that. It was just actual multiplayer gameplay that, you know, of course was a little bit set up because they wanted to get quad feeds and stuff like that here in this trailer for us. Because when you watch a trailer, you want to see somebody tearing it up, so you think to yourself, man, that looks like fun. I want to be that guy. Because can you imagine, like, in a multiplayer gameplay trailer, it just showed the guy dying a bunch, like a guy going like 0-20 in a team deathmatch or something like that. Like, what if that was a trailer? Nobody would want to buy that game because it would look terrible, right? So they show them getting quad feeds and stuff like that. So obviously it's a little bit set up and stuff, but still, it's going to show us what the gameplay is going to be like in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I'm super excited for this game. I cannot wait for the official multiplayer beta to come out. That is going to be in August, and it's coming out for PlayStation first, so I had to get on buying a PlayStation 4 for that, but still, definitely looking forward to getting my hands on this game, and definitely looking forward to seeing more gameplay as YouTubers continue to post it from what they were actually able to record at E3, so definitely interested to see more about that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be my breakdown of the official Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer reveal trailer. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys all found it helpful and informative, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel it deserved, and of course, let me know in the comment section below what is your opinion so far on Call of Duty Black Ops 3 from what we've seen at E3, from what we've seen with the trailers, from what we've seen from early footage from YouTubers. What do you think about Black Ops 3 so far? Are you excited for it? Because I am stoked. When I initially learned it was going to be kind of futuristic, I was really kind of turned off by it, but they've really won me over with these events that they've done so far and the trailers that they've put out, and just seeing gameplay of the game in general. It looks like a lot of fun. I was kind of weary on the idea of specialists at first, but now specialists just look like a really fun system in the game itself. Man, I am so excited for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Let me know your opinion. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.